this game.
Bruh.
Out of sync. I don't even know who won. That's the sad part. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We're back to another match between Luktom and Rohbrot. I say another because that's their second game. However, we have not seen this first match because between these two gentlemen because the first match went out of sync. That was a Ottoman mirror, and Rohbrot managed to take the win. They both guys went with the Barbary Revolt. Unfortunately, this is part of what the game that we have at the moment, and it has some of these issues, especially when it comes to replays. Don't have the best replays. And we do have bugs on their replays as well that they go out of sync for no apparent reason. Moving on. So this is game 2 between Rohbrot and Luktom. We do have Luktom here on the color blue, playing as the Brits. Have Rohbrot playing on the northern side of the map, playing on the color cyan. Big Rohbrot playing the Dutch. This is a battle of the giants. We have Luktom and Rohbrot. This is the semi-finals. This is the quarterfinals, boys. This is the quarterfinals, and this is gonna decide who's gonna play versus Radovan. And we have an upset. Unfortunately, the game went out of sync for the first match. They were playing on a Ottoman mirror, and they both went for Barbary Revolt. Unfortunately, do not know really what happened there. I tried to look into the replay parts to get information on what they were doing. You can't really tell much, and it's kind of boring. End of the day, Rohbrot took the win, and here we are. This is game 2 between Rohbrot and Luktom. That is 200 elo difference here for Rohbrot. Rohbrot reaching the 2200s, and Luktom on the 2000s. And even at this point now, I think if you look at the current elo, I think Rohbrot is on about 300 elo ahead. So I don't know if ladder matter as many as people think that they don't, but we are just saying what you see. And treaty, we are on the treaty list. We are back. Luktom now forced to play the right way with Rohbrot coming up with the knowledge here. We also have Virginia Company sinistered away. We're opening with the TP, not choosing to have the most famous openings we had so far, which was actually the Greenwich followed by Virginia Company, or 3 views followed by Virginia Company. Actually going straight away Virginia Company. Are we going to be seeing some age 1 manor boom? That could be quite interesting. You're not going to have enough many the only problem with this is that you're not going to be able to see many age 1 cards here, and I think he's just not going to do it. He's just going to I think he's just going to send 3 views in age and then start the manor booming as soon as you get into age 2. Sir Tom Mosqueteiro Brasileiro, where you going? Nice to meet you. This is nice. Yanderuter for Rohbrot, aging up with the Quartermaster. We have the Amphagan deck, sending 3 merchants in age 1. We do have the wood shipments. We have the 4 villages as well. Bank wagon with the church card. Options with Go Greedy, with the banks of Rotterdam and Amsterdam. Even with the covered wagon age 3 there. Some resources upgrades. And we have the tuple speculation, even heavy fortification, a fort, and 600 wood. But I think this is a solid deck. Allows him to have everything that he might need. Maybe missing advanced arsenal if you want to be a more inclusive deck instead of a town center. Probably best there. Nonetheless, it's a very, very decent deck for this. Luktom though, going with the Virginia Company, going to... I think he's on Gangsol already. I think... Oh, what happened here?
Yes?
Oh, an upset. Look, Ton Explorer goes down. This is not a map you want to lose your Explorer, because on this map there's so many good treasures. This is not the maps we have seen before. This is the this is on the quarterfinals. This is the Balkan Mountains. There's so many good treasures. There are treasures all around the map. And we do have the presence of the House of Hansburg natives and the House of Anar. And we do have a bunch of TP lines down in the middle of the map. We do not have those towers though. That's a very interesting point, because we're playing 3D here. The towers do not spawn, so I actually never seen that. So good to know. Look at this, 90 wood here. We have another 70 wood over there, 90 coins. So it's all for Rohbrot to explore now. And I think he might have to send a villager now to take his explorer, and here he is. He's coming for the rescue. Sending 4 views. I mean, managed to skip the 3 views, going for the 4 views in H2. The B kind of off in my opinion. Sending for the 700 wood. I don't hate it. It's best to send 4 views than 3 views. You can say that for it at least. And we are also going for placer mines and hunting dogs, getting those research out of the way. We are grouping our houses here quite together into the sideline of the map. And maybe it would be nice to put them all here together. At the end of the day, once you revolt, the houses don't really matter. And then if you destroy your houses, but at the same time thinking out loud, houses could be quite important for Brits here. If you have the rusted houses, you want them to be, actually don't want to lose your houses, right? If you want to be constantly remassing, then it could be a quiet point if you're going for Canada, for example, having all these houses across in the front line. So you actually have units spawning on the front of the your base. Anyways, let's see. Look, Tom, wait for 700 coin. We are on 35 villagers at 7 minutes mark, or 7 minutes to be. Rohbrot now going for the TP. He's getting Gangsaw.
Yeah.
He's on steel traps. Gathering 1.09 food per second. And he sends 700 wood, 600 wood, and 4 villagers as well. We're sitting on 21 villagers. I actually like this. I like the 600 wood. I hope he sends the church card now instead of the 700 coin. But 700 coin, not so bad also. I think at this point you can just have all these villagers into coin and just age up without the coin. He's getting log flume as well, which is going to allow him to make more bank. So I would like to see religious freedom and maybe the Bank Amsterdam in Rotterdam. If he's going for South Africa, we've seen Batu pulling it off. I've been talking about this since the beginning of this tournament, and then we see Batu actually doing that. It was pretty cool, you know, actually going a little bit more greedy with Dutch. Here you go. Here comes the religious freedom, and we're gonna see coffee trade quite soon as well. Now, finally going for steel traps. Aging up with the Admiral of the Ocean Sea. No, Tom, why do you do that? Why? Why does he do that? There's no water. You're not gonna get your Caravel. Caravel kind of useless anyway. And you want 300 wood? It's to aid on your revolt. He just wanted to revolt as fast as possible for some reason. I think he just wants to wait for a revolt. But then you have to wait for 6 minutes and I don't understand. Tom, what's going on? I think he's just thinking, oh, if I got 300 wood, I'm gonna be able to revolt faster. But with this logic, not going very far into this tournament. We have the Exile Prince. That's gonna be a fast age up for Rohbrot. We are now sitting on the 7 bank, so the economy is looking good. This is 9 minutes. We have the great coats coming through. are we gonna be sending next? We're gonna be sending 1,000 wood. Are we gonna wait for the 1,600 wood H4 like we saw Kibo do? Or I don't know if Radovan done the same as well. But here we go. We sending 1,000 wood definitely, and Autumn decided to go with the British Grenadiers, give them 15 damage. Wait, sorry, yeah, no, siege damage, 15 siege and 20 damage, and also adds 2 line of sight. Line of sight is gonna be quite useful. How useful? We not sure how much usefulness it will have for every revolt. He's going for grenadiers. Oh, what was that? Was that? None of them guys have the natives, and we did hear that jingle on the background. I don't know what that was from. Getting place in mines. Look, Tom, with the snipe here, managed to kill that with the town center fire. Something people actually let them been letting scouts taking out the visibility, where you actually can just kill them with the town center fire. So good prompts here for Tom to actually finally using some treaty knowledge here. Yeah. Even though that's pretty much frowned upon probably on treaty games, but he's not into this tournament though. We follow the rules of the game as they come, and we have 3 town centers here with Rohbrot. He's gonna be able to get those 50 villages quite fast, and maybe there is a reason why he's wants the 3rd town center up, getting more experience as well. Tom is looking to get more food over here. Sending cavalry combat. It's gonna boost his possibly 4 wagons if he goes for South Africa. We are sitting on the age up behind here. There he goes. He's aging up with the tycoon. Maybe to get some coin and get the early mercantilism if he hasn't done that already. I don't think he has. And don't just age up. Got a 300 wood. Did not get a caravel this time. Same like last time. And he's sitting on 42 villages, and in the 2 factories and the rockets. Also has an option for advanced balloon, which we don't know if he had that card in last time. Also has the option to send 24 accounts. I think if you send the 24 accounts here, you can no longer send on the revolt anyways. And it might not be worth it. It might be worth maybe just send something like this to actually boost his grenadiers even more. I'd like to have like a very busted grenadier build with some maybe Canada. There we go. Here comes the Canadians, and they are hungry for food. We do have a lot of villagers on coin, which we don't need at the moment. We just need people on food right now. And we're hurting our macro because we do not have food. We still have 2 minutes to go. We definitely need to be over. Would have been nice to have this. Maybe go to H4 faster, right? And then I would definitely send 3 views. I think that speeds up the whole process to get into H4, so you can send house terraces in the 2 factories as soon as possible. That's how my build probably would be. Maybe sending something, maybe 1,000 coin, maybe or 8 settlers even, and then aging up as fast as possible, do an F5, get into F5 to 7-8 minutes, and then send terraced houses, everybody on food, just make villages from there on, and then to the 2 factories. And then the new villages you start putting on coins just to get the capitalism. You can also age up with the tycoon and get the mercantilism anyway. So here comes the rockets. We are making rockets. We are 1 minute away from the revolt, from the bell. for the end of treaty. Robot ending his second factory now. And the tulip of speculation. Now gathering resource for his revolt. We are on 30 seconds. You know, Tom could be coming through really fast. And Rohbrot now doing some harsh artillery, going with the foots of battle here. I think that's a decent strategy. And here comes South Africa. This is probably the best, the strongest revolt, and the most economic revolt we have in the game so far. But he has to survive the initial push. I think Luke Tom might be on the timer. We need to send the 2 banks guard. I think this is wiser, going straight away for the bank, the war wagons, because at the moment he only has 5 horse guns. I mean, if a big mess was actually to pop into his base right now, what can he do? What can he do? Not much. Now Luke Tom though is very delayed. He's just gathering stuff. He's not going like Kibo and sending all his villagers forward with a bunch of units and maybe like a bunch of musketeers. He's sending the militia officer. I don't think we've seen that. That would improve the fighting spirit of villagers, militiamen, and native warriors. That is pretty cool. Actually, with the Kibo build, that's with this at some point where you put the flag on, you just cannot drop the flag too close to town centers and stuff like that. So I don't think the usefulness of this is reduced for sure. He's going for fur trade. He's gonna convert all his food into coin. In 125 conversion rate, he's gonna get a bunch of coin. And then with a bunch of coin, he can send the Lenape allies. But Lenape without blood brothers is just not good. Or even the weapon trade as well. Natives become a big part of this revolt later on. But if you go for pioneers, welfare, you can get these guys really strong. So I think you're going to be seeing that. Rohbrot, Luke Tom finally decides to make a move. He has a lot of resources. He still has some pop to go through. He's sitting on 8 rockets. Getting blunderbuss finally. And he did send the musketeer upgrade. I wonder why the musketeer upgrade was 4, which he hasn't.
Yes,
just
commandment.
has 11 grenadiers. That's not much, and he's putting them on the front. A whole upgrade shipment for 11 grenadiers. I don't see the point, but he's making more grenadiers. Maybe just for the long run. Here comes the raid. The villagers from South Africa are being attacked, and the merchants move away. Now, look, Tom moving forward. Rohbrot sitting on 15 war wagons. The horse guns moving forward. The rockets are not engaged. The horse artillery is engaged very fast here. We managed to take down an arsenal for some reason. That's the first building he goes for. I don't see the point. But he's very spread out. Nice volley with the rockets. Managed to take some of the horse gun. Now going for the economy, going for the banks. There's an artillery foundry here, another probably building that you want to take down. You don't want to see more horse guns or coverings per se. That would be really hurtful for his macro here. Now we're having some fights here. I think the villagers have to focus on the horse artillery. There we go. And they don't have to go melee. Look, there's one shot there. Good use of the tracks from Rohbrot, trying to soak some of the damage on the auto attack here and trying to confuse the units. And these guys have a lot of HP, so this is a good micro, but a little bit too late. The war wagons are gone, and this is looking all out of a sudden really good for Luke Tom. The score, Rohbrot still ahead in score. And he's sending Wanderlust, and I have some improvements on HP of his units and villagers. There's some horse artillery on the back. He's on three stables. I think that's the only military buildings he has. He still has the trading post. He has a lot of wood and he has a lot of villagers. He just has to do a couple of artillery foundries in the back so he can actually make use of all these resources. There's so much wood here in the bank. Starting to lose some of his banks. Here comes some red lancers from the church card, and the red lancer is going to do great work here into the rockets. Here comes some assistance with the war wagons. Here comes more outpost wagons. They're very finicky here. Some track wagons on the field, and let's see what Luke Tom is up to. He's sending Lenapis more rockets. He's gonna take down the factory. He needs to deal with this war wagons as soon as possible, because this is all Tom's economy right now. And we have some blue guards on the field as well for Rohbrot. I missed that. And the robots are doing great work. And I think Luke Tom just calls it. He lost all his economy. I think there's nothing else he can do. Oh boy. I think he was doing pretty well until he wasn't. And some of his units were sieging here, not really focusing on the military. And he was very close to a win here. There was a good pop from the red lancers, managed to take the artillery, and the blue guards managed to deal with the rest of the units from Luke Tom here. And I think that was a great experience for Tom. Tom said he had he told me that he learned a lot. I learned a lot from this, and he probably gonna put more time next time he plays this. But yeah, look at this remass here from Rohbrot on a 40. That's because of the blue guards. Blue guards, Radiots, it was a good pop. They were kind of coming clutch together. So Rohbrot knows how to do a good pop, and with that, we call on the series.